Oh, I nip and dip.
I nip and dip. Jesus, be a fence all around me, every. I'm asking you to protect me. Take off his mask. Good Lord.
Okay.
You look like Pooh Jr. Y'all come right on in. Come right on in. Y'all ignore us. We just having a good time right here. I brought one of my favorites back.
Me?
No, not you. I just playing. Y'all make sure y'all hit that share button for us. Go ahead, chime in, tap in, log in. We ready for you. Y'all come right on in. Thank you so much. As you're coming in, won't you just drop your name and let us know where you're watching from? Here on Zave's Corner, we are in season 2. Woo! We are in season 2, y'all, and I could not be more excited about what we've got going on here. Again, I got my best friend with me. We rocking the Zave's Corner shirts, y'all. We got to have a great time tonight because we are talking about the power of Black women, and I'm so very excited to have this conversation with my Black queens tonight. All right. So again, we've got, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Is that KZ? Am I pronouncing that right? You the school teacher. Kazi. Please don't take offense if we don't pronounce your name correctly. But thank you so much for being with us. Kendallin, my best friend Kendallin Watkins. Thank you so much, Ken, for joining in. Y'all continue to hit that comments and let us know where you're watching from. Thank you so much for, okay, KZ, I hope you're saying yes to me and not to Charcy. I hope that's what that's about. But needless to say, y'all, I'm so glad to have y'all here. So glad to have you here. Please make sure you hit that share button. KZ, I said it right.
KZ, okay.
I said it right. Hallelujah.
It's pretty nice.
Hallelujah. Glory. Thank y'all again. Please make sure you hit the share button and continue to invite your friends to join us for the power of Black women on tonight. We're so excited. Again, y'all, I had to bring my producer on screen tonight. Got her rocking her Zave's Corner shirt. And let me just quickly give a plug here. My best friend just launched her jewelry company, Laurel Lane Jewelry. So I am rocking a Laurel Lane piece. She's rocking a Laurel Lane piece. So y'all be sure to check her out on all social media platforms, okay? All right, so we're going to give a few more minutes, let our panelists get settled in, and then we're going to get started, y'all. So please make sure you invite your friends, tell your cousin, your mama, and your auntie and them too. Come right on in and join with us, all right? Again, so glad to have y'all with us tonight. All right, we're going to get started. Definitely, Ken, we will get you a shirt. Shirts are $25, but Ken, I got you because you have donated to the foundation, so I got you. We will definitely take care of you in getting you a shirt, all right? Y'all, please make sure you hit that share button. As we talk about the foundation, let me just give you all an update. This week is the last week to donate to the XRR Greatness Foundation for our back-to-school drive. We're still accepting cash donations at this point to help further the mission and the work of what the XRR Greatness Foundation is doing. If you are looking to partner with us, you can do so in one of the 4 ways that we've made available. You can partner with us through PayPal at greatfoundxr@gmail.com. You can Zelle us at 404-989-3883. Please make sure you put in the comment section for the XRR Greatness Foundation. Feel free to Cash App us at cash sign XRR1208. And as always, you can make all checks payable to Greater Love Enterprises, P.O. Box 492-574, Atlanta, Georgia, zip code 30349. And again, we are so very grateful to all of you all that have continued to donate to and support the XRR Greatness Foundation. To all of my friends that are watching, you all know that we've launched Greater Love Enterprises, and that is the company of the XRR Greatness Foundation. So we're so excited. We're so excited. Glad to have y'all on. But listen, enough about me. Let me just introduce y'all to the beautiful, the wonderful, as Nick Cannon would say, the sensational, the sensational, at Charcy Edwards, at XOX Char, my best friend Charcy. Charcy, won't you just say something to the people tonight?
Hi guys, my name is Charcy. I am the producer of Zave's Corner. I make it all happen. But tonight I'm co-hosting. So, hi.
And again, so glad to have my best friend on. We've been best friends for almost 10 years now. And yes, I haven't killed her yet. So praise God. All right. So again, Y'all, in all seriousness, tonight's conversation, it's really important to me. When we talk about the power of Black women, we have to just take a moment to acknowledge some of those notable Black women that we know. Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama, Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King. We can go as far back as Sojourner Truth, Maya Angelou, Harriet Tubman, just notable Black women that we know that are powerful. And if I could just take for a moment, and maybe Charcy, you want to shout out some Black women that you know, I just want to shout out my mom, Valerie Scott, and my mom, Charlotta Cloud, and my grandmothers, Wanda and Helen Cloud, for just being those strong Black women in my life. They've just been a continuous presence and a strong force. So shout out to them. Charcy, you have any strong Black women that you just want to acknowledge real quick?
My mom, of course, Valerie Owers.
Yeah, our mom share the same first name.
My aunts, my sister, she's an inspiration to me. My two grandmothers, rest in peace, I love you. Just backbone to the family. Love them forever, always. Inspiration, support, love, the epitome of a strong Black woman in our household and our family. So yeah,
absolutely. And it's so important that we have this conversation because we live in such a time where the Black woman is the most disrespected woman on the face of God's green earth. And it's so disappointing because history teaches us that even during slavery, Black women were the pillar of a plantation, right? They left their slave quarters and they would go into the master's big house where they not only cooked for the master, they not only served as midwives, but they would breastfeed their own children.
While their children were suffering.
Right.
Some even died.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, having to not only just feed those children, but then to turn around and to be mentally and physically abused by the white man, and then also to suffer jealousy for attention that she did not seek from the master's wife, even to today, where we hear derogatory terms like, oh, she's a B da 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 da, or she's a da 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 da. So tonight, it was very important to me to have this conversation about the importance of Black women, because as a Black man, there are so many things that I need to learn. Charcy, I'm sure you as a Black woman have so many things that you want to share. But in the meantime, between time, we've got some Black women
that we need to introduce.
We need to introduce them.
We need to bring them out.
So in typical Zave's Corner fashion, we're gonna bring them out. And we've got, hailing from right here in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Pittsburgh, we're gonna bring her out. She's no stranger to Zave's Corner. What's up?
Hello. Can we see the shirt?
Yeah, let's get the shirt. I am Black Excellence. We love to see it. We love to see it. Well, just remind the people real quick your name and tell us again what you do for a living, and tell us something important to you about being a Black woman.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin McCurry. I am, like Zave said, originally from Pittsburgh, PA. I am a project manager. That's my day job. And the importance of being a Black woman, resilience. That's what is important to me about being a Black woman, resilience. It's hard out here for us. So I pride myself on having that characteristic.
All right. We love to see it and we love to hear it. Again, Caitlin, thank you so much for coming back on the show. I'm so glad to have you. Charcy, now this is also a Zave's Corner original, right?
Original.
This is an original. She's been with us since season 1, episode 1. So it was only right.
To bring it back.
We had to bring it back. Bring it. I'm gonna chill out. What's up, big sister?
Hi, everybody. I'm back.
What's up? Tell us your name.
Hi,
I'm back. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Oh, my lighting is terrible. But I'm Monique McElvin, aka the Madam Queen. I hail from the DMV. That's DC, Maryland, or Virginia, if you don't know. What else y'all need to know?
Not what's one important thing to you about being a Black woman?
Ooh. I think it would be like I think it would be like just the fact that we birth everything. Like we birth everything from culture to fashion to just even when I think Charcy said something earlier about like during the slave times, like they may have birthed those kids, but we nurtured those kids. You know what I mean? So that's what I like about being a Black woman.
And that's so important. And let me just say to those of you all that are watching real quick, we've just got a few rules here at Zave's Corner that we need to just go over real quickly. The first rule is that this is a judgment-free zone, right? We don't pass judgment because every opinion is a valued opinion. I'm always quick to say you are entitled to feel how you feel. So we invite you, we encourage you to join in the conversation. You're more than welcome to drop your comments in the comment section. If you've got a great question and it catches our eye, we're definitely going to try to find a way to work that in there. And we've also got 2 more panelists that'll be joining with us. They're just having a few technical difficulties at the moment, but as soon as they're backstage with us, we'll get them on the screen with you. All right? Yeah. I think we ought to talk about it. We can talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. All right. So now that we got all the prerequisites out the way for all my judgy people that are still come here to watch, let's talk about this real quick. We are here to talk about the power of Black women, and we've already discussed and put out the prerequisite and the history of where Black women have come from nurturing, right, to even being on the front lines of the women's movement, but not really getting the same treatment that they deserve. Just over the course of life, we've witnessed the rights of women. But do you truly believe that Black women have equal rights? And let's go to Caitlin. Caitlin, talk to us about that. Do you believe Black women have equal rights?
I don't. Because let me tell you, it's hard. Because one, people see us, we're Black, but then also we're a woman. So that's double work against us. And immediately when you were talking, I thought about the video. I don't know if everyone has seen it, but from when they're still prominent today, the Black Lives Matter protests, but I think it was like the first week after George Floyd had passed. And there's a video, I think it was in New York City. A Black woman was in front of a police officer protesting, and the police officer used his bike to push her. But a white woman stepped in, and in between, she threw the bike back at the police officer, and the police officer didn't do anything. But he was going to sit there and beat up the Black woman. So I kind of thought about that. I don't.
So you don't believe that Black women have equal rights or even treated equally. Monique, do you wanna piggyback on that real quick?
I definitely agree. We don't have equal rights. And the way that it's played out is it's so disrespectful. It's like right in your face disrespectful. Like you can see how a Black woman is treated compared to her other counterparts. And it's like, wait a minute, like I'm still a woman at the end of the day, even amongst our own race. So I definitely agree. Like we are, it's not a lot of equal rights there, when it comes to certain things.
And it's so important because you said a term that I think has been used a lot, respect. Well, you said disrespectful, but breaking it down, respect. Yeah. And when we get to talking about the respect factor, what is respect? What is respect? What does it mean to be respected? Aretha Franklin sang a song, "All I'm asking is for a little respect." She even spelled it out for us. But let's define what respect is. Charcy, you want to take a gander at that?
Okay. I would say, if I say to respect me, I want you to hold me as a human to the highest regard. I want you to treat me as if you want somebody to treat you. I want you to say things to me that will not hurt my feelings, things that don't tear me down, in a sense. That's what I say when I say respect. So if I ask you to respect me as a Black woman, it's simple. Just don't tear me down as a person, period. Just take my feelings into consideration, uplift me when possible. It's simple things. Simple.
And you say simple, right?
It's not that simple.
Right.
It's not that simple.
Because I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, it's not that simple.
That you said simple, but let me pause real quick because I think we've got our third panelist on. I see her and I'm so excited to have her. I just gotta pause. Y'all, this is Zave's Corner, so we're gonna do it Zave's way. I gotta bring it in. Daisha, are you ready for us? I see a yes. I see a yes. I see you. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
And I can hear you. All right. We love to see it. We love to see it.
I had to go to the last resort, my damn phone.
Hey, we glad to have you here, y'all. I gotta stop and introduce. I'm gonna have this young lady introduce herself. We've met through mutual friends, and we've seen each other at some of their functions. But you also have a podcast. But just tell us your name and what you do, And then tell me what you believe is one thing that is important about being a Black woman. But we're going to come back to that respect factor. So just go ahead real quick.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me hop in. My name is Daisha. I am one of the two of the Wind Down podcast, as you can see right here. We're basically two Black women on a podcast. We drink and review wine on a weekly basis, and we talk about millennial stuff, being a Black woman, dating, everything under the sun is what we talk about. So, what do I think is important to being a Black woman? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, having a voice, like just speaking up, that is most important to me.
Awesome. And I love how everything is flowing together because we are actually talking about being respectful, right? And that really ties right into what Charcy just said as far as not just respecting me. Now, don't now if I'm wrong, I know you're gonna check me on it.
Yeah, you know.
But when it comes down to that respect factor, what do you believe is respect? What does respect look like when it comes down to a Black woman receiving respect?
There's some hard hitters coming in. I think basically is, as you like when a Black man meets another Black man, there is a basic level of respect that other man is given. I feel like the same thing should flow for Black women. So it's like when you come to me as a Black woman, you don't talk to me any kind of way. You treat me with basic human respect and then some, because I just feel like with any human, you never know what day they're having. And then even me, I was raised on respecting people. Like I don't get sassy with people unless they get sassy with me. So when people come at me rude, before I even, get rude with them, it's kind of like, hold on, let's reel this back in. So I just feel like as far as respect goes, because I feel like when it comes down to Black women, we're always expected to respect everybody and just give out this abundance of respect here. But then when it comes to getting that back, we're not pulling in as much as that we're putting out. And I think that's a big issue for me.
And that is that. Thank you for sharing that, because again, that ties right back into what we've been talking about. It's that level of being able to receive the respect, right? Because again, history, if we do not know our history, we are doomed to repeat that same history and make those same mistakes. And so Black women have always given, and you keep giving and you keep giving. But at what point have you given enough? Like at what point do you know you've reached the level where I'm not going to tolerate it? Like I'm not going to deal with it anymore. And then before we get to where it becomes a derogatory term, how do you go about expressing that? When you're put in situations where you've been disrespected, maybe it's by a colleague, maybe it's by a male friend. What is your reaction? Monique, I see you got your head turned, so I feel like I'm about to get a little spice on that. So give me what you got. Give me what you got. Talk to me about that. Like, what does that look like?
As far as like respect wise.
Yeah, when you've been disrespected.
When we've been disrespected.
Yeah,
okay.
Because you're giving the respect, right? You're giving it to them, but when you've been disrespected and you like, all right, and I ... Like, what does that look like?
I think it could look so many different ways. Oh, good gracious. Depending on what setting you're in, if it's a relationship, it could be, it could be the B word being tossed around a couple of times. If you're at work, it could definitely be, oh, well, we don't want to go with you per se. They try to make it seem, those little classy emails that come off so nice, nasty. It could be that type of disrespect, like, oh, we're not going to use Miss McElvin today because she's just a little bit raunchy, or she's just a little loud, or she's just a little too boisterous. So it could come in so many different ways. And I mean, at 33, when it's disrespect. At a younger age, I probably didn't see it as much as it now. Not to say that it didn't happen. It was just that I was probably a little more naive especially being in school and just thinking like, oh yes, I'm a graduate and I have all of this and everybody's going to respect me. But then you get to work and it's like, oh, thanks, but we're going to go with someone a little different. And then those different words, the verbiage changes, things like that. So yeah, I just think it depends on the settings. I definitely.
Zave,
Go. I was gonna go to you, Kayla.
I have a meeting tomorrow to send. I don't want to call him a colleague, but I have a meeting tomorrow to send another company employee to HR. So actually, what happened is, so one of the clients reached out for an issue. I thought it was handled by one of my techs that handled our software. The account manager followed up. He said, hey, Caitlin, are you able to follow up on this issue? Did you review it? I said, yeah, thought a fix was provided. Long story short, my tech responds back that it's not our team's issue. It's another team. They have to go to that person who handles that service. I respond back to the account manager, forward the email, said, hey, here's her response. The account manager messaged me back and he goes, she does not say it is that team in the email. So I'm not sure where this is coming from. I said, well, I'm not the technical resource, so please feel free to respond back to her email. This man goes, I am not the project manager, so can you chase her? I really would like to stick to my day job. And so, I mean, I was on fire. So I respond back to him. I sent him a screenshot of the email that I already forwarded. I told him that she responded to you. You, as an account manager, you have this knowledge of who handles that service for them. I said, so no, I will not be chasing the tech. I said also, I said, so please again, feel free to respond back to the email that you originally CC'd her on. I said, because of the assistance you requested has been provided, thanks. So he responds back.
Oh.
He responds back.
Yeah, time.
No, he said, I'm in sales and you are PS. You are the smart one, and sends a winky face. I called. This is why it is important to have other Black women in the same field as you around you, especially in corporate, because it is hard. I'm not saying it's hard being an educator. I'm not saying it's not hard being in social services. It is hard being in corporate. It's hard being in all of it. You're a Black woman. I called my Black friend. We spoke about it. I ended up going to my supervisor. He said he would go to the account manager's boss. I go to their organization. I look at it. Their whole team's full of white men. All the way up to the CEO is a white man. I said, I don't know if anything will get done. I said, I might go to HR. So I reached out. My supervisor is actually a Black woman.
Wow.
I've had conversations with her prior. So I reached out to her. I said, hey, I'm thinking about going to HR. I just want some direction on this. What do you think? He said, what to you? She said, yes, I stand by you. I stand behind you. Go going to HR. There's that, this, that, and the third. When you said about having enough and how much you can tolerate, yeah, we know there's those nasty emails. Some stuff you can go back with them and say this and then let it roll off your back. For some reason, in that moment afterwards, I have been thinking about it all week, and every time I think about it and tell the story, I'm upset. And it's not that I'm hurt. It's not I'm tired. I was disrespected. I was insulted. Prior to that conversation, we had another conversation where it wasn't tangible, factual evidence that he told me I should maybe stroke someone's ego. There's stuff that led up to this where it's like, I can no longer deal with it. It's blatant disrespect, blatant microaggression. So we're taking this to the next level at this point because I'm tired. Come to find out, he's had issues with other people, but it's just like those other people didn't see fit to do this. So there's that notion of now I'm a Black woman, got to put everything on my back. Why do I have to be the one to take it to HR? I'm just gonna have to do it. I'm tired. I can't take it anymore. It was too blatant. So that's one of the situations I'm dealing with where it was blatant disrespect. I did not deserve it. The people who come after me do not deserve it.
Yeah.
So it has to get handled.
So I have a question. Are you nervous? Because I have some HR stories myself, but are you nervous of becoming the angry Black woman?
Wait. Before you go there, because that's the next question.
Okay.
That's the next question. That is the absolute derogatory term that we hear, right? The angry Black woman, right?
I hate that.
Calm it down.
All right, had to make sure you were sure.
I got flashes for a second.
Right, I see.
Ooh.
It's two terms that really stick out to mind. Again, I'm not a woman, so I'm sure you all have heard just about every term there is. But two terms that stick out to mind is, oh, that's an angry black woman, or
she must be on her period. I'm about to fight.
and so they're derogatory terms, and let me be honest, because I pride myself on being transparent here. They're terms that I have myself used in my ignorance, right, or in anger to try to convey a point, and please forgive me for that. But is that something that you all in the back of your minds, you're like, is it something that I don't want to say fear, but do you just think about that when you're placed in situations like that, when people are disrespecting you, and before you respond, you're like, wait a minute, let me. I see Daisha shaking her head like no. So y'all talk to me. Is that something that you're like, wait a minute, am I about to be perceived as this, or it's like, listen, forget it, I'm gonna shoot the gun on it?
I think for me, it's a little bit of both. Now, I think it depends on the situation I'm in. Now, a lot of times, you know me, I'm not the type of person that's going to really like speak up too much. I'm not going to be the person to curse you out in public. Nothing like I curse maybe you. I feel like I'm the type of person, if I have a problem with you, I can voice it without being loud and cursing. I'm not saying that I don't want to be that. I'm not saying that's what I'm trying to avoid. If I have to go there, I will go there. And if I gotta be the angry black woman, that's fine. We will be there. I can be the bee. I can be everything you want to be. But you know what really grind my gears is when I'm trying to get a point across, and you telling me, "Oh, you must be on your period." That one right there, though,
that shoot it up.
That would shoot me to the moon. And I'm already working on my attitude, but that right there would shoot me to
Lord
the
Jesus.
moon. Like, I'll. That's a done one. That's a done deal for me.
Daisha, I saw you shake your head no, and Caitlin, then I also want you to respond, because you're getting ready to walk into a situation which we're praying everything is going to work out even before you get there. We're going to speak that atmosphere right now. But Daisha, I saw you shake your head no, so you tell me what that process is.
I don't care. I don't care what I am. I could be an angry black woman. I could be dramatic. I could be overthinking. I could be doing too much. I don't care. But guess what? You're going to hear me, though. You're going to hear what I have to say. You're going to hear how I feel. You're going to hear if I don't like it. That's just that. If I got to be an angry black woman to get my point across and let you know this is something that I don't like and you're mistreating me and not respecting me, I don't care. I'll be everything you want me to be. But you're going to hear me, though. And you're going to get it. And from that point forward, you're going to know how to move with me. Because that'd be my biggest thing. I don't care what people call me. I've gotten to a point where, the whole angry black woman thing, I feel like sometimes it puts us in this box to where we have to act a certain way or hold this standard, because we see angry white women and Karens out here, they do whatever the hell they want to do. Whatever they want to do, whatever their heart desires. And
absolutely,
people make jokes about it and they keep on carrying on with their life. They still have access to things and people don't treat them no different. That's just that. But when it's a black woman that does it, the moment you do angry black woman type of thing, you always get thrown into the moment you flare up, or you even somebody could, just like in your situation, Caitlin, moving forward, and I hope this does not happen, but it does tend to happen. Moving forward, whenever you have an issue with something, people are going to look at you, especially in a predominantly white state, and they're like, "Oh, well, there Caitlin goes again. She got a problem, guys. She's gonna go to HR, angry black woman," that type of thing. And it's just like, I feel like at a certain point, you have to stop caring about that, because once you care about it too much, that's when people start to walk over you and they think, they can just do you any kind of way, and then you won't do anything because you don't want to go through that whole process again. And I just feel like that process should be normal, because if we don't speak up enough, like you said, the next black woman that comes in, the same thing is going to happen to her, and she's not going to speak up, and the same thing is going to happen. So until we keep speaking up and we make it a normal that we're speaking up and not caring about them thinking, "Oh, well, she's just being angry black woman," then how far are we really going to get? So that's why, for me, I don't care. I've heard it before. I've heard similar terms. I've heard other even worse terms. And I just be like, well, you heard what I had to say. So that's just that. Not to do it again. So.
Absolutely. Caitlin?
I was gonna say to the overall question that Monique asked me about, am I nervous? At first I was, but then I got to the point where I prayed on it, and also I have went to what I call my wise counsel and my advocates and my champions, and everyone has told me the same thing. You need to take this to HR. And I've, like I said before, I've gotten to a point where I'm not about to be tolerant of people disrespecting me blatantly. There's a difference between, oh, you're just have a smart mouth, whatever. That was totally uncalled for. And to that point, I also have realized that, yes, I have people behind me, I have people who cheer for me, but at the end of the day, who is sitting here is just Caitlin. I'm Caitlin's biggest advocate. I do not care if my supervisor is supporting me. I don't care if the supervisor is supporting me. I am doing it for myself. So even if nothing gets done, I feel better that I went up there and I advocated for myself in this moment, even if nothing gets done. And yes, I did have a thought, because I ended up seeing a new position out there that I'm thinking about applying for internally. And I'm like, man, it just so happens that I find this position that I want. And now I have to go to HR for someone else about that issue. And I wanted to be like, dang, it gets to this supervisor that, like Deja just said, oh, Caitlin's going to go to HR again. It's like, this will be my first result, but also too, the conversations that I've had. I just had a conversation with my godmother this morning, who is also in a corporate setting. She said, you know what you do? You flip that back on how it wasn't productive about the work. And I said, you know what? That makes sense. So there's a way to flip it. So now I have a way to flip it to where it's not about him. It's still about him disrespecting me, but also it's about the fact, play to them a little bit. Play to the fact that he took away from his amount of time that he took to type out those characters and use that to insult me. You could have been emailing whoever handles their service that they needed. But instead, you chose in that moment to sit here and blatantly insult me and disrespect me for something where I was just doing my job. So no, I'm not really nervous anymore. It's above me now. Like, we're gonna see what happens. There's that. And if I'm back on Zave's corner again, I'll follow up and tell y'all what happens.
Well, we're definitely gonna have you back. Right? We are nosy here on Zave's corner, so we gonna.
Because I want to hear about it.
Text me. Let me know how that goes.
We gonna have you back, and I even venture to say, those of you that are watching, y'all people, because I was about to say something else. Y'all people are nosy too. Y'all gonna want to hear the follow up too. But let's talk about this thing for a second. The term "strong black woman." Strong black woman. Oh, Caitlin, I saw an eye roll right there.
So we had this conversation earlier.
We did.
I said, Zave, I think you really need to bring this on. Because last time I was on this podcast, it was going to be a question I wanted to talk about. Because to me, sometimes when I'm going through my struggles and I'm dealing with so many things, I hear people say, oh, you're so strong. And in a moment, sometimes you're like, oh, thank you. But in the back of my head, it's like, but I'm grieving and I'm sad and I'm going through this. Why do I have to be strong in this moment? Sometimes to me, when people say, oh, you're so strong, it makes me feel like I can't be vulnerable in a sense. I can't show emotion in a sense. Like I have to hold it together when I'm falling apart the most. So I wanted to understand, like, get y'all viewpoint on how do you feel about the term you're a strong black woman or you're strong?
I don't mind it. I don't mind hearing it. One, because I know what our strength looks like. Mm-hmm. So, and I know what we've been through as African-American women. So I don't mind hearing it. I think that as African-American women, we need to learn how to also be vulnerable and learn who to be vulnerable with. Like me and my sister have this thing like, okay, if somebody says something to you, like, okay, yeah, I've been called the angry black chick. Okay, thank you. I'll take that to my therapist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't hold on to what you're saying to me. Like, I know I'm strong, but at the moment, yeah, I want to be weak and I need to be, like, I want to have a weak moment. Yeah, I want to cry. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be at work. I've had days at work where literally just a few weeks ago, like I literally went behind the building that I work in. And I was like, I got to shed these tears. Like, regardless of who is around, I need to shed these tears because yes, to these children that I work with, I need to look strong. I need to show them what strength looks like. And of course, we have conversations as a counselor about what it looks like to be vulnerable and to have those weak moments. But as the counselor, I need to be able to be like, oh, thank you. I try, pray my strength in the Lord. But at the end of the day, it's like, shoot, I go home, I drink my wine. You know what I mean? Like, I have those moments, but I don't mind. I work for an organization in DC that's owned by a Jewish white woman. And I have had several conversations with her. And this program works with all African, like I think it's like 92% of the people that we serve are African American. So I've had people in that position come to me and say, oh, you're just so strong for dealing with these children every day and what you do with the kids. And it's like, yeah, I know. Like, sometimes it's like an arrogant piece of you that wants to be like, yeah, because I'm a strong Black woman. But then at the end of the day, you do want to go home and be like, I show is tired. I'll show want to get my kids in.
But
no, I don't want it.
You know what's interesting, Monique, and because I was telling, as I'm sure you all have figured out, Charcy and I do a lot of talking. And I've come to find a true confidant in Charcy. I don't know how, but needless to say, we disagree quite a bit on things because I told her I assumed that telling you that you're a strong Black woman was something encouraging, and so when she presented it to me in the sense, it kind of sounded like it takes on two different contexts, right? And I don't know if you all would agree to this, but depending on how it's used and when it's used, it could mean something like, like that boy, he keep cheating on you, but you're a strong Black woman. Then it also be like, listen, girl, you were broke all of your life. Now you have made some money. You're a strong Black woman. So, in a sense, right? It's just a matter of how it's used.
Yeah.
Who uses it, right? And you got to read the room. You got to read the room. Definitely. Because knowing my friend, I know I can't just come to her and be like, "Oh, you a strong Black woman," because she gonna know I don't mean it in a positive sense.
Yeah.
Right.
I think,
but anybody else want to chime in on that? Anybody else want to chime in?
I was about to say, I think the indirect result of the strong Black woman connotation is that plays into why we might be so disrespected. And why people don't view us as, oh, well, maybe she might need some help, or oh, maybe she is tired, maybe she doesn't want to cry. Because I'm with Monique. I just sat here last night and cried because I'm frustrated. And it's not that I'm like sad. It's just the release. I'm pent up. I'm stressed. Like it's just too much sometimes to go out into this world and just be. And actually, somebody posed the question, and they were just like, I wonder if white people, white women, white men understand, or do they know how it feels to kind of feel like you got to go out there and put on a face, like you can't not to come up and present your full self. And it's not that I'm not presenting my full self. In certain environments, it's kind of like, dang, how would I look? You do have that thought, and it's not to say that controls everything that I do. It's something that I do believe, like within, like how David says, she don't care how people. If I'm an angry Black woman, I'm an angry Black woman. So you do have to. I feel like you have to get to that point where it's like, actually, I do not care how these people view me. This is me. But I think that strong Black woman connotation, I think that is an indirect result. Is that's why we might be so disrespected, and why people are not like, oh, you're crying, like, oh, she's over there crying, like, let me go console her. And it's more like, oh, why is she crying? She'll be all right. Like, what? What is it? Like, I don't know. So I that's my answer to that one.
Piggyback off of what you said just quickly. I think like now compared to what I saw growing up, like I didn't, you as a young Black girl, and you look at your aunts and your family members and your friends, everybody has to be so strong. I don't know that I've ever seen my mama cry outside of church. When the spirit fall in church, I don't think I've ever I don't know that I've ever seen her cry. And I'm sure she's been through a lot of things, but I've never seen her shed a tear. My grandmother the first time I ever saw my grandmother cry was when her son passed. So, so it was just like, I know you going through stuff. I know you agitate. I'm like, now in retrospect, it's like, I know things are happening, but I think now, like, my daughter will now be able to have avenues that maybe weren't existent then. So, like, there are podcasts, Black Girl Therapy, Zave's Corner, where people can talk about the issues and talk about what's going on. Black women are accepting of actually going to therapy and actually talking to people. We're leaving bad relationships. We're not holding on to them. We're feeling okay to walk out. So I feel like her generation, they're going to see something different as to what we see as strong Black woman. I think her generation will see strong Black woman to mean something else. It'll be not so much more of a physical thing, but more so like mentally I'm strong, physically healthy. I'm eating good. I'm praying. All of that good stuff. So I think there's a generational difference as well.
That's a good point.
Daisha, you put your hand up at a point. So I want to come to you because you have a platform that you co-host with, and I've actually met your co-host. And again, to everybody that's watching, we encourage everyone to support our friends on Zave's Corner. So please make sure that you support the Wind Down podcast.
It's so good.
Please make sure that you support it. I've listened to a few episodes myself.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell off. I done listened to a few episodes. So please, support Black women. But you have a platform that you've co-created. Talk to me about just even in that platform, how you've had to take this connotation of being a strong Black woman, and just talk to me about that.
I think as far as being a strong Black woman, like for our platform, it's mainly being transparent and being honest. Because I feel like being a strong Black woman should not be limited to what we can endure and what we suffer through. I feel like it should be what we go through, how we get through it, and feeling everything, not just strength, but being able to say, it's okay for me to cry. Because people may not know it, but I am a big crybaby. I cry. Like, I will just cry for no reason. And sometimes I hold myself back from crying around other people, but sometimes I really just be in my room and I just be like, I need to cry. I just need to cry. I need to let it out. And I think that, to me, that's being a strong Black woman, because you're not afraid to face every emotion that comes your way. And I just feel like a lot of previous Black women in my family, like Monique said, being raised by other strong Black women, like, you really don't really see them express emotions that well. And I think, like she said about her grandma, I had never saw my grandma cry until my uncle died. And it was just, it really hit me as soon as she said that, because I was sitting there, I was just like, oh, wow, there's like not many times I've seen my grandma cry. And my mom is a big crybaby, so I've seen her cry like all the time. And I appreciate her. I appreciate her being a crybaby because it's helped me, deal with my emotions better. But I feel like you said earlier, we talk about a lot on the Wind Down pod about, how we deal with relationships and communication and things of that sort, and how all of that ties into respect. And I just feel like, the whole, when somebody, a Black woman, is going through something with a man and it's not great, and you tell her that she's a strong Black woman, to me that's an insult, because it's just like, why would you say that? What?
Wow.
I guess.
Now, Revelate, come on, talk to us.
Why would you say that? I just feel like, of course, as I get older, I try to be better with my friends when it comes to, their dating and stuff like that. And I tell my friends, I'm just like, whatever emotion that you need to feel it. Feel it completely. Don't run from it. Don't suppress it. Feel it. And you don't always have to be strong. You don't always have to hold it down. You don't always have to come to a solution. You don't always have to have all the answers. And that's my biggest thing. It's just like, I always feel like I have to have a solution. I have to figure things out. I have to be the one to keep things together. And that all plays into the whole strong Black woman idea. And sometimes it's just like it's good to take a breath, to kick back and be like, I don't have the answers. Somebody else may have them, but I don't have it, and I don't have to feel pressured to have the answers. So for me, it is good sometimes to be told that I'm a strong Black woman, but sometimes I just feel like I know I'm a strong Black woman. I don't need nobody to tell me that I'm a strong Black woman, but I know. But I just feel like y'all said before, read the room. Just read the room. And just like I don't know if you guys had saw it, but it was a video of a little Black girl, and she was out protesting with everybody during the Black Lives Matter protest. And the caption basically was like, she's going to grow to be a strong Black woman. And I was just sitting there like,
she's 7.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh.
Look at Kayla.
and I'm just like, y'all are already, to me, it's grooming. It's grooming her to grow up, to endure things and that she shouldn't have to endure, that, you know, she shouldn't have to go through. And then to tally it all up to, oh, well, I'm a strong Black woman, I can get through it. It is what it is. That's how you end up with generations and cycles of BS and not dealing with things the way you should deal with it. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this whole, you know, Black Lives Matter thing that's been going on, it's taking an emotional toll on me. Like, I can't count how many times I've cried. Like, every time I see anything talking about Elijah McClain, I just cry. I just boo-hoo cry. Breonna Taylor, I just cry. So I'm just like, when I saw that little girl out there protesting, yeah, she was strong and she, you know, she was out there and I appreciate that. But just to say, like, you know, she's going to be a strong Black woman one day, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I gave a side eye. I'm going to be honest. I gave a side eye. I didn't speak on it, but I gave a side eye, definitely.
You know, it's enlightening because it teaches us to be mindful of our words. You know, I hated the terminology, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never. That was a whole lie.
Yeah.
That was a whole lie.
It was
It was a whole lie, right? Because some of these folks say some words, and that crap, I wish you just would have tried to fight me.
It was like you're supposed to eat it.
Yeah,
And
it don't work. But then here's the thing for me, and I want to hear everybody's perspective on this. Do you believe that when Black men disrespect Black women, it then gives the clearance for all these other folk, and I'm going to term it just like that, all these other folk to then come in and disrespect you? Because in my opinion, I have been created not just as a man, but to be a protector of my queen.
Yeah.
So y'all talk to me about that, because again, I'm a Black man that can admit when he's done wrong, and I've done wrong, right? But talk to me about that. Do you believe that if we're out and I'm da 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 da, everybody else that's watching now thinks it's acceptable to talk to you in that manner? Is that something that you all feel is happening? Or talk to me about that.
Yeah. It does.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it does give the clearance. Well, if he Black and she Black and that's her boyfriend or whoever, what he talking to her like that, I can talk to her like that. That don't mean she anything. Like, it's kind of like you like. We come, if somebody looked at it, it's like, okay, we have some type of something tying us together somewhere based off skin color, whatever. They're going to automatically think we come from the same whatever. We should be able to relate in the sense that we come from the same culture, Black culture, whatever. If you are not sticking up for us, for Black women, as a Black man, as I'll use the term ally, who is going to be there for us? Because the other demographics don't care for us. So if it's you right there supposed to be our partner in all aspects, not just romantic, then it's just like, why would they? It's kind of like growing up if I'm disrespecting my mom and I have a child, why would she then respect me, or why would she then respect her grandmother if she sees me talking to my mom this way? You know what I mean? It's following suit. So at a certain point, y'all gotta stop. Yep. Period. Yep. Period.
We're gonna hashtag that, Caitlin. Y'all gotta stop.
Y'all gotta stop.
Y'all gotta stop.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta stop. But you know, again, like I said, in this conversation, it stems from a conversation that I had with you and the rest of our friends. Because to me, I'm always thinking, trying to figure out how to be a better person, right? And as much as I want to assume the world would do so, they don't. So y'all tell to the Black men that are watching, that will see this podcast, y'all talk to them in this moment. Talk to us. Talk to me. What is it? Because I'm not saying that you need a crutch, but what is it that we can do as Black men to make you or to ensure that you feel that love and admiration that you all so divinely and freely give to us as Black men?
No. What we're not going to do, what we're not. I saw something today on Instagram. I want to say it was on Spiritual World or something like that. But anyway, the lady gave the stats. I think that's what it was. But she gave the stats for how many Black men actually marry Black women, and all of these like wonderful stats about, you know, Black men who actually support and uplift Black women and things like that. And I had to sit and think, like, we put so much effort into being like, oh, respect us, to the 5% that don't, and then we don't acknowledge the other 95% that do. So like in this moment, and okay, you don't respect it, that's fine. You got a Black mama, you know what you're supposed to be doing. But to those who are out there and they riding with us, they got our back, they supporting our businesses, they're supporting our growth. Thank you. We do need that. But if I could just backtrack a little bit, I don't necessarily agree that if a Black man disrespects a Black woman openly, it opens the gate for that. We were already disrespected before that. So if a Black man disrespects a Black woman openly, then you just disrespectful. I don't think it gives leeway for anybody else to be like, oh, well, your own people disrespect you. No, that's just like us saying, oh, Black lives matter. Well, Black lives got to matter to Black people. I hate when people say that. Like, don't use that. Like in this moment, it's Black lives matter, period. Respect is respect, no matter who is giving it. Because some Black women don't respect other Black women. If we, you know what I mean? If we want to go down that rabbit hole. There's a lot of Black women. I see it even in the workplace, and it's almost like we got to attack each other to grow. I see that too, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the masses. So I just want to like acknowledge the African American men, the Black men out there who are supporting us, who are there for us, who are creating wonderful homes for their families, and there's, you know, things of that nature. I don't want to put too much energy on the ones that are not doing that. That ain't like.
And shout out to your dad, because he is definitely.
Dad, is he watching?
Yeah, I don't know if he's watching, but shout out to your dad too, because he definitely shows and has shown the way to support, right? Not just a Black woman, but Black women, right? So shout out to your dad. But y'all talk to me. What does that? Hey, Charlie, you want to say hey to the people? Talk to me about what that requires and what that looks like.
Oh, Monique, I done got to the point. I don't like spending too much time on the Black men that don't respect Black women, because I just feel like they are lost causes. I'm not about to do what your mama should have did. So,
okay.
But that's real.
Because some of them are just so ignorant to the point that they don't want to do any different. They don't want to do anything different. And if it's some out there that want to learn and they want to do better, I think my biggest advice that I could say is listen to Black women, because that's really where it starts. Listen to understand, and then once you hear where you could do better, it's only up from there. But I mean, if you're not listening, then you really not doing anything. So it starts there with me. Just listening, because I feel like a lot of Black women, they make things vocal in how they could be treated better and what Black men could do to treat them better. And the ones that actually want to do better, they do better. The ones that don't. So ain't no point in wasting your breath. And I want to backtrack to where I feel like in any race, any ethnicity, there are men from that that disrespect their women. It's not just black people that do
Mhm.
it. It's not just black men disrespecting black women. It's white men disrespecting white women. It's Asian men disrespecting Asian women. It's not just limited to black people. I feel like there's such a microscope on black people, but then I also just feel like, the world already doesn't respect us as is. So, you could be a little nicer to black women, just as much as black women are nice to black men. And I just feel that way. And I feel like it's always quick. It's displayed times 10 black men disrespecting black women. It's always displayed. It's displayed in reality TV, it's displayed in music, it's displayed in media. It's always being displayed. So I think that's why people feel like it's just limited to black people, because seeing black men disrespect black women and seeing black women disrespect black men is like some type of entertainment, and it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, because if we're being realistic, it's gonna happen. Somewhere in the world it's gonna happen. But I just feel like it needs to be cut down on, because I feel like the continuance of like these shows and stuff, like a long time ago, I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop. I stopped watching it because I just felt like it's bad for the black community. It portrays black women horribly. I don't care if you're on there and you're successful. It just portrays black women horribly. And a lot of people feel like the stuff that goes on there, that goes on that show, that they only do for ratings and drama, they think that stuff is actual real life, and that's the standard of living and being a black person. And I'm just like, no, nobody. That stuff does happen, but it don't really be happening for real. And I just feel like when it comes Love and Hip Hop, no. The Shade Room, no. I'm honestly almost there with Spiritual World, because sometimes it don't be so spiritual, and I just be like, y'all just like,
ain't nothing.
it ain't nothing but a watered down Shade Room, and I don't like that. I don't.
I actually DM'd them and was like, listen, I want to have y'all on Zave's Corner because I don't know what spirit you're operating in. It's not the spirit of God. All right. I DM'd them. Yeah. They can block me and they can post me. But guess what? I hit them with the come on the show. It don't matter. But nah, I'm definitely with you on that. We have to be careful of what we take in, because we are a generation that is so socially involved, especially when it comes down to technology. A lot of those things will infiltrate our minds. And that's how we find ourselves in positions where like we're calling our therapist consistently, right? And there's nothing wrong with therapy. I have a therapist. I think most, if not all of my friends have therapists. And we openly talk about the fact that we have therapists. We encourage you, listen, go get your mind some help, right? Get you somebody to talk to. But that's so profound. Caitlin, did you want to add something to that as well, or?
I have nothing more to say. They handled it. For real. No, for real, they handled it. You can't give energy towards things that it's insanity, I guess, to describe it in the least. Can't keep going back to the same thing over and over again.
And that's facts. Charcy, did you want to add something?
No, I think with Monique, I think she hit it right on the head when we was talking about, okay, so what can a black man do? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I know what you could do, but are you gonna do it? That's up to you. Like if I tell you, you're gonna listen. If I say I want this, are you gonna do it? I don't know. But it is a good point to acknowledge the men who are doing it. And if the 5% don't want to do it, then off with your head. I don't know. I think I'm off with your head. I think I'm with Monique on that one.
Not the guillotine.
Y'all pray for my best friend. Real life violent. All right. This ain't for play.
I'm for real.
You done beat me a few times, but it's okay. I'm gonna tell my story later. Lifetime call me. But listen, in all seriousness, before we get ready to get out of here, I have to do this one thing right here. To my three panelists, to my co-hosts. First, let me say thank you all so much. Thank you for not only just being transparent, but thank you for showing the world your inner beauty and your outer beauty, right? Because we do not take the time to just say thank you. And so if you never hear it again, thank you from me sincerely, because it is already one thing to be a Black woman in this world and in America, but two, to be a Black woman and to have to share how you feel in a society that does not receive you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot tell you thank you enough. Before we get ready to get out of here, I want to those of you all that are watching.
Whoa. I want to say thank you to you too, because I do love a Black man that listens to Black women and puts Black women on a platform to be heard, because we don't see that a lot. So thank you, and for growing and constantly growing and knowing when you are wrong and wanting to be better, because we don't see that a lot either.
Thank you. We have to grow together, right? And to all of you all that are watching, stay tuned, because we're going to give Zave's final moment. But y'all do me this one favor. Make sure that you are sharing the information about arresting those white men that killed Breonna Taylor. They are still on the loose, all right? They have arrested the men that have killed George Floyd. They have arrested the men that have killed Rayshard Brooks. Go get them idiotic people that had the audacity to kill our sister Breonna Taylor. We cannot stop saying her name enough. We have to arrest those people that killed Breonna Taylor, because she deserves justice. All right? Listen, to my beautiful Black sisters, do me this one favor. I need you just to end this sentence with one statement. Black women are... Charcy, you want to take a gander at it? Beautiful. Caitlin, Black women are... Say it again.
God sent.
Black women are God sent. Amazing. Daisha?
The blueprint.
The blueprint. Okay. My studio audience back here is getting hyped up. You done hyped them up. Big Sister Mo, Black women are...
Black women are... I don't know. Oh, God. What? How you going to throw that in like that? Black women are resilient. I'll say that.
Absolutely. And Black women are love. Without our Black women, we would not know love. I would not know love. So again, shout out to every beautiful Black woman. You are loved. You are appreciated. And I pray that God not only blesses everything that you do, but every venture, every prayer that you pray, may he not only answer it, but multiply it tenfold. And that's the real deal. All right. Listen, y'all know how we do it on Zave's Corner. Won't you just wave and y'all hang backstage for me? Y'all wave goodbye to everybody. Thank y'all so much, y'all. I want y'all to hang backstage. And to those of you all that are watching, I need you to stay tuned, because I got to share Zave's final moment with you. Again, to my beautiful, my lovely, my sensational co-host, Charcy, thank you so much for doing this with me tonight, because you know that I was nervous about this, because I wanted to do it right. So thank you for sitting here with me and keeping me in line. I really do appreciate you.
Always.
I don't always tell you that, but I do appreciate it. Yeah, you do manage me. So y'all get it, my girl. No, don't get it, my girl.
If you need management,
no, she's a one manager woman. But listen, listen. As I thought about today, Charlie, seriously, as I thought about today, what I would say, I've tried to wrap my head around just what's been going on in the world. You know, we faced a pandemic. We've got a stupid president, and amongst other things, we've got a really dumb governor here in the state of Georgia. That's suing our beautiful Black mayor, who is a lawyer, but he got a degree in agriculture. But this is not a political show. But as I thought about what I could say, and I thought about everything that I could just give to you, it just came down to this one summed up sentence. Black women, I love you. We would not exist. The world would not exist. It could not turn on its axis if God had not taken the time to write the plan, to give you the melanin, the beauty, the grace, the wisdom, the knowledge, the power, the strength, the grit, and everything that he had to make you. When God created Black women, he outdid himself. He sat back and he looked and he said, my God, could I have made anything better? And so for that, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that he has surrounded me with a beautiful mothers and grandmothers and sisters and best friends and just people in life that are committed not only to the education of making the world better, but that will continue to grow and become stronger women, right? So I've definitely learned something. I hope that you've learned something. I pray that not only this podcast reaches the masses, but I pray Black men that we will rise up and take our place as the protectors to ensure that our Black women, our Black queens, get the love and admiration that they so rightfully deserve. They don't have to earn anything from us. They deserve that much from us. They deserve that much from us, right? You all deserve that much from us. And so, God, I just pray right now, and I speak to you, my queens, my sisters, continue to be in the fight, because one day the world will stop and say, yep, it was a Black woman that made the difference.
Always.
It was a Black woman that made the difference. Listen, it's always a pleasure to sit here with you all in Zave's Corner. We got to get out of here. Shout out to our studio guest, Kiera, and shout out to our season 2 premiere. This is season 2, and we've got an in-house chef tonight, RTB.Coco. She's prepared dinner for the host and those in the studio audience. As always, Charles, you got anything you want to say to people real quick? No.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining
next
us.
week. Do you want to tell them the lineup for next week?
We ain't even gonna tell them the lineup for
No.
next week, because next week, well, we can tell them. Next week is 1 + 1 = COVID. That's our back to school edition. And if you have not donated to the back to school drive, I don't know what you're waiting on. Maybe God need to come down and speak to you in your sleep. I don't know. Yeah. But get at us about that. We're so excited about it. Listen, I love you, and there is nothing in the world that you can do about it. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Charlie, let's just wave at the people, give them a goodbye. We got Charlie with us. Listen, love you guys so much. See you next week, same time, 7:30 Sunday night. God bless you.
And just like that, we're done. Ooh.